Hello, welcome back to Greenhill Junction, part 2 of the upper station build. So this is pretty much how we left it at the end of part 1. Thanks very much to everyone who watched and commented on it. And what I'm going to move on to now is doing the retaining wall and the connection between the two stations. So I don't know if anyone else gets this, but you finish one project and you think, yeah, that's brilliant, this is awesome, everything's worked out, and then you go to connect on another project and you realise that you gave yourself a problem. Now my problem here is, you can see I have very nicely sort of figured that out to match in with this Metcalf walling, but come along, I need to go up. So what I really should have done was built that a little bit higher, and then I could have had all this walling at the right height for the platform. So what I need to do, and I don't think it's going to be too difficult, is I need to basically get a triangular piece going on up here, very similar to what I have here. So you can see that is basically the same wall, but instead of the flat cap, they've got a slope for the sloped road. So that's my plan, is to basically build one of these and just add in a triangular, scratch built triangular piece there, and then the pillar on the end will be raised up so the triangle goes like that, and it should look like it flows. I have went and got myself a batten of wood. As you can see here, it's 25 by 25. And that's going to be wrapped in the same grey brick paper to create a plinth, and that raises up the Metcalf lawn high enough that if I bring you around here, the wall on the back is just the right level with the platform, so that looks quite good. The other thing I need to do is figure out where this bridge is going to sit, because this stuff is really quite sturdy, and to start cutting it down will just be a nightmare and it'll look an absolute disaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here, so I'll have that one, then the triangular one, and then I'll just keep on fitting the bits in until I get to somewhere around here, because this bridge does have a bit of leeway. I think I stuck a couple of, there's a poster there and a poster there, so it does have a bit of leeway to move backwards and forwards. And the idea being that once I get, I don't know, that'll be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 7 spans in, there'll be a gap for the bridge. And what I need to do there is scratch build a much thinner wall to go along the back there, again out of this grey stuff, so it all looks like it's meant to be. And then I do have a bit of spare walling from the top, and I'll put that in there like that, so again there's a bit of continuity. That will need chopped just a little bit, and then I'll have my connection in, and then I'll continue the wall however many long it needs to go along here, probably 2 or 3. And that'll be the retaining wall done, and it'll cover that gap and it'll make it look a lot more connected. And then up here, I had a discussion with Kev from Medway Peninsula about what to do with this bridge, and we both agreed that it'd be better to leave it in this sort of brown state, so not paint it the black and green that I did here. This will be black and green. And what I'll do is, you can see it's lighter where it's not been laser cut than darker where it has been laser cut. What I'll do is I'll just dry brush it like I did with the platform to get it all the same colour, and then I'll add some weathering, I'll add some black paint, my style of weathering, for maybe some smoke damage and just general wear and tear. Because my general thinking is that the back station is like the original station, so it's much older, and then this is a newer station that's came as railways have extended, so it looks a bit more modern, it looks a wee bit different, and I want the contrast. So as much as it's the same bridge, that one's going to look older because it's essentially going to be a pure wooden bridge, and this one's going to be the slightly more modern painted one. again, contrast. So that's where part 2 is going just now. If that goes quite well, start looking at getting these platforms detailed, but not talk about that just now. Concentrate on the retaining wall and the bridges, and then see how we got on with that. Alright, so back in a bit. Alright, welcome back. Things have moved along, which is quite good. We now have the majority of our retaining wall in, and the bridge is currently what's being worked on. So started in this end, and I've got the two that had to be at table level, and then I've put a slope there to bring it up to that level because the platform slopes down there. To be honest, not really loving that. It's alright. I wish I had built that taller so that the entire wall could just go across. However, I think if that was taller, then it would look daft against that bridge and the wall. So I was kind of in a no-win situation here. I may come back to this and just do a much gentler slope across the two walls to come down to there. But that's what I've got now, and I'm leaving it like that because I just want to go on with the rest of the stuff. So we've got the plinth in underneath here. That's just a bit of 25mm by 25mm timber wrapped in brick paper, and then that allows the walls to sit at just the right height for the platform. If you can see that, sorry, stretching over here. And then if we come down here, I have painted the bridge extension so it matches the rest of the bridge, and I'm just in the process of figuring out where it's going to sit and how it's going to sit. So if I just lift that away, you'll see the plinth there, and unfortunately the bridge sits just a bit higher than the plinth, which I knew was going to happen. And also, if I'll show you this bit, let's put that back in. It also overhangs, which I knew was going to happen, so that wasn't unexpected. It's just, whoops, at the point where I need to figure out how to sort that. So what I've found out is that if I have a piece of grey board and a piece of this card, which is actually the Metcalf sheet that stuff comes on, the bridge then sits at the right height. So what I'm going to do is build two smaller plinths to go on top of the plinth, and I'll top it with this spare bit of brick paper that comes in the retaining wall kit, and that'll get it to the right height, and it'll be in place. And I'll scratch build the wall in here just to cover it, but it'll be topped, as I said, with that, so it all kind of goes together. What I figured out was I can't continue beyond the bridge until I've sorted out the bridge. This isn't stuck down yet, this is all just placed, and I need to extend the plinth to the end of that, and then that one's also going to have a slope down for the cover the end of that platform. But I've not worked that out because I need to know the exact placing of the bridge and all that before I work on beyond the bridge. And then it's just going to end with a wing wall or a descending wall or whatever you want down into here, because I'm getting a lot of grey wall going on, and it's fine. I mean, this is the village end, so there's going to be a lot of buildings and walls and bricks, but it's just verging on grey overload. So what I'm wanting is that this end of the layout to be a lot more green, a lot more open space, and just be not retaining walls. So that's why I just want to end that wall coming down there, probably have a nice big embankment coming down there, and then also there'll be a couple of bridges, so there will be some brick, but not loads of retaining walls because it's getting a bit repetitive and it's getting a bit grey, and I want some colour and some scenery and stuff like that. So so next task is get these plinths built, which shouldn't be too much of a task. Get that bridge in, get all this end fixed in, and then just finish off here. As you can see, I've got most of the bits done. It's just a case of placement and sticking. So go on with that. I'll come back once it's done. Alright, so back in a bit. Right, welcome back. That's the retaining wall fitted. One small change to the plan. I brought the plinth out all the way to keep all this level, and then I will run a retaining wall down there at some point. I'm not going to do that just now. I want to figure out what I'm doing with this whole section before I put a wall in, so I don't have to take it back out again. I just didn't want another weird triangular bit on top of that, so I decided to keep all that level. The bridge is in. Much cursing, swearing and measuring later because it's never as simple as I think it's going to be. And I built a plinth. I think that was just layers of grey board and a lot of measuring to make sure that the bridge is level. It does look squint on the camera, but that's because the wall has a slope, so it kind of plays a wee bit of an optical illusion on you. Trust me, it is straight. I have spent a long time making sure that it is. And I've done the retaining wall at the back of it and just put the Metcalf wall topper along to make it look like it all fits in. So that's the two stations now connected, which is pretty cool. Along the side of the retaining wall, I've just stuck down a mix of ballast, turf, earth and some scatter to make it look a little bit overgrown. I will add more bushes and things like that to the retaining wall. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and think about that yet. I don't just like to throw things at it. I want to think about where it's going. So that'll be added in due course. Started doing some work on the upper station, so the bridge has been painted. Just painted it with a bog standard brown, and then I've dry brushed some black on it for sort of soot staining, and generally just to dirty it up, all kind of around it, but also made it a lot darker where the steam would be, and that just sits there quite nicely. I've donated more of my pocket money to Scale Model Scenery for no other reason than I just like their stuff. So I got the sort of freestanding station signs and the Midland Railway platform ramp fencing, well, the ramp fencing and the general fencing, mainly because I like the design of the fencing. So I've got that all ready to go here to get fitted. So the signs I've just done in red and white, and you'll see I haven't, so to make up the whole thing it had these sort of fancy wing things on it. To me that made it too big, so I've just made them rectangular as they are. I'm painting them just with bog standard red acrylic and white Humbrol, I think it is, yeah, that I've had kicking about for ages. The fencing is here and it's all just been painted black with the very well used Humbrol matte black. And the idea being that the signs at certain points will just get stuck to the fencing like that. And I think that creates quite a nice contrast between the black, red and white. The fencing will get fitted in line with the edge of the bridge, like so. And behind the fencing will be bushes and things like that, so it ties in with the back scene. I know, as you saw, I've got the ramps as well to do the end of the platforms. I'm looking at more details to put on the platforms. Obviously people need to go on, but people need to go everywhere in this layout. You know, I think like milk barrels, like pallets and things like that, just sitting at the ends ready to get picked up. I may do a barrel crossing between the two platforms, I'm not sure on that yet. The one thing I haven't figured out yet is what to do in this corner. Whether you put in like a water tower, or not water tower, water hose, pipe, whatever you call it. I don't want a big water tower in there, a coal station, or do I just put a sort of line side hut? Because it is quite a big space. So that's basically the workers' hut for the goods yard, and you can see that just about fits in there, although it does look a little bit too big. So if you get any suggestions as to what I can do there, give us a comment. Because I'm kind of drawing a blank on what I put in there. It is quite a big space, and I don't just want to fill it with the greenery. But my knowledge of sort of station infrastructure beyond the platforms isn't the greatest. So appreciate any help I get there. So I will get on with getting the fencing and the signs and the bushes done, and then see where we go from there. Whether I get a chance to get any more details, or if we just sort of say, right, that's the upper station done, and I can always add details at a later date. So yeah, I'll be back once the fencing and all that's done. Alright, welcome back. That's the upper station complete, bar a few small details that I'm still waiting for, but I don't know when they're going to arrive. So I will just take you through everything, and show you the detail that I've added, some of which I spoke about in the last clip, and others that I have managed to get in the meantime. So first of all the fencing's fitted, along with the station signs, and I've added small advertisement signs that I had from when I did the big station. That was just a scale model scenery sheet where you got loads of little signs, so I've added them periodically along the fence. The little benches I found on eBay. They were a company, I think it's Fair Price Models, laser cut kit. Really cheap. Got 12 benches for, I think it was £7-8, if even that, delivered. And I just painted them black and red while they were on the sheets, and then built them. But they look really good against the fencing and the signage. Along the back, and the gap between the fence and the backboard, I have just basically stuffed it with various bits of foliage that I had. Clump foliage. I made some small seafoam trees, and that big green thing is a seafoam bush, and just stuck them along the back, sort of going along with the back scene to try and filter it in. And you know, when you see it on the camera, it really does patch the two things together quite nicely. We'll just move along towards the station house, or the shelter really, it's not a station house. You'll see there are people on this station. I did go raking through my various things, and I found that I had 2 packets of, I think they were Bachman people, basically. So one pack was station passengers, and the other pack was like station staff. So decided to stick them in place at various points. Chap just coming out the waiting room there, and keep working along. You can see more signs, more benches, a couple there standing waiting for their train, and then it tails off down the end there into the area that I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. So I'll wait for your suggestions as to what goes in there. So let me get to the other side of there, and I'll show you the platform on the other side. Okay, so around the other side now, just start off just off the platform. I have filled in the gap, which started somewhere along there. I think I finished it. So I've just filled that in with ballast, soil, scatter, bushes and all that, built it up against the wall there. So you need to bear with me, this is quite a tight corner to try and film in. Right up onto the platform, and yeah, kind of used it to cover that gap there. So this platform
we've got the station staff, so we've got a chap, the porter, waiting for luggage, and this lady signalling for something. I'll freely admit I didn't know what the staff were doing or signalling or anything like that, so I just put them where I thought they should go. So yeah, along the walls, again we've got the benches and Greenhill upper signs, and sorry, right in the middle there's the station master surveying his kingdom, and then continues on, and you've got the bridges, and then beyond the bridges is another sign and another bench, but that's as far as I can stretch here. You can see where the extension comes up and joins on to that platform. So I've got a few more things coming. I've ordered some milk churns and like luggage to come that I'll scatter about the platforms. I've now got some station staff down the main platform as well, so there's a good signal in there, and actually I got a really nice I think it's cast iron from PD Marsh, or certainly metal, sorry. The porter there with his luggage trolley, which goes in really nice there, and there's a few more staff dotted about. I think there's a chap right in the end there signalling a train off or something like that. Yep, there is. I also done all my housekeeping, so every bit of track has been cleaned, every loco has been cleaned and serviced, every bit of rolling stock has been cleaned, so now everything's running a dream, and I had trains running last night for the first time in ages, which was great. So we'll end this off with a running session, get some nice views of the trains coming through the upper station in particular. Just a sort of note for future videos, there's probably going to be a delay in the next video. I am off to Nepal in the middle of October for a month, trekking to Everest Base Camp, so that doesn't leave a lot of time to start another major project on the way out, and obviously kind of delays videos as well. So come back sort of early to mid-November from that, and it'll be miserable in Scotland by then, so I'll have plenty of time to spend up here getting stuff done. But pleased to get this project done, and definitely pleased to get the trains back running. So that's it for this video. If you leave me any comments you have, really appreciate reading them. Like and subscribe to keep up with the progress in the layout. Share the video if you think it's any good. Please do give me any ideas for this corner, that'll be appreciated. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and let's get into the run session. So speak to you again soon. Cheers.